Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Astrology as a Strategy podcast. Today you're going to listen to a recording of a Facebook Live that I did in my Facebook group about the forecast of October, and it's quite a juicy one, this one, so make sure you tune in, and at the end let me know what your thoughts are, what you're working on in your business, and how you are going to use this energy. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Astrology as a Strategy podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Panassi. I'm on a mission to help you amplify your influence so you can free up time to spend with your family while increasing your revenue. I'm an astrologer, business mentor, an adventure seeker, and a proud mama of 3 kids. Think of this podcast as your shortcut to more joy and ease in your business. Running a business is joyful, and when you're not having fun, you haven't cracked the code yet. But that's about to change. I share practical and short tools how to use astrology in your business and life. So let's get started on using your energy strategically to make a bigger impact, have more free time, and grow your wealth.
Hello, my name is Patricia Panassi, and this is the October business forecast. Awesome, we are live, which you never know during Mercury retrograde. Also, I want to say all the people who are skeptical about what Mercury retrograde can do, you can call it coincidence. I'm fine with that, but the whole global outage of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp are definitely not a coincidence in my book. Actually, I don't think a global outage has been this huge, because I know that there were times where parts of the world were affected, but this time was definitely an interesting one. If you're live with me, let me know. I do find the new layout from Facebook Live a little bit confusing, so if I don't see your comment right away. So thank you for being here, and I'm really excited for this month, because one of the things that this year has really taught us is, first of all, to expect the unexpected, which has been one of my mantras, but this year I would say it kind of reached a completely new level, which is very interesting, I would say. If you're watching, let me know how you have experienced 2021 so far, or in the last quarter. And I wish I could say that things will be so much easier from now on, but we are going to come across quite a few aspects that are asking us to look at things differently. So what we have is we have a new moon in Libra. Let me just pull up everything so I don't say it wrong. We have a full moon in Aries, and we have the sun moving in Scorpio. Overall, there's like this theme of moving into exploring shadows, because we're moving towards Scorpio season. And Scorpio season is, I always like to say, like, take your brooms out, women, like, get a witch on, and really channel your inner richness of witchness. Because lately I've been exploring this notion of being a witch. What does it mean? What does it feel like? In one of the healings that I did last month, she mentioned that I actually did the healing with Yitzka. She's also in this group. She mentioned, and that really like struck a chord with me. She said it's safe to be an astrologer. It's safe to do what you do. You're not going to be hunted down. It's like, it's so much in our DNA as women, as we step into this role of being a leader, of especially if it's like in the spiritual realms, even though the way that I work is very practical, I use an ancient spiritual tool, astrology, to dive deeper into the practical side of doing business. It's like shaking that conditioning off, that for us it's safe to fully step into this leadership of being a light worker, somebody who helps other people find their light, find a beautiful expression, and yeah. So, what's up this month? It's interesting, I see there is a comment, but I don't see the comment. Oh yes, Wendy's there. Okay, so this week we are going to have the new moon in Libra tomorrow, which is interesting because we also have Mercury retrograde in Libra. And also, to come back to the whole Facebook, Instagram outage, Libra is about relationships. What do we do here? We're in relationship with each other. We are relating to each other through social media. And then when that blacks out, it's like, what? Interestingly, I actually had a social media workshop with the coach that I'm working with. Their social media manager was providing a workshop on social media, and we actually weren't able to open our social media because that was quite hilarious. But that's what so many things that happened during this Mercury retrograde. There are so many people also who have reached out and said, your post about redefining relationships, about reaching out to people. I have reached out to a former client and they became a client again. Or I've reached out to people that I've been talking to forever, and now all of a sudden our conversation is moving along. And I think it's beautiful that you are taking that advice and actually working with that the way that it works for you. And this Libra new moon is very much related to that. So bring harmony in your relationships. Where is your responsibility and where is the responsibility of the other? But Libra also likes to beautify things. Things like refinement, things that are, think about a smooth, soft, silky dress, or a beautiful essential oil, or something that makes you feel rich. And it doesn't mean that you have to focus on the money part, but make sure you surround yourself that your senses are being turned on, because that's really something beautiful of Libra. And this new moon is really beautiful to form new relationships or to set intentions to form new relationships. And how does that look for you? How would you do outreach? How do you talk to your potential clients? And I know that in the industry, it's been very hard this summer. Well, maybe hard is not the right word. It's been slower, where people are a bit more relentless. I was going to say relentless. I'm not sure if that's the right word. People are hesitant to invest. People are hesitant to make investment because we just come out of a lot of restrictions have been lifted. On the other hand, restrictions have been put in place. So there's this feeling of it moves, but it doesn't move yet. And how are we going to move? So you might need to rethink how you attract your potential clients. I know for many of the people that I speak to that a lot of workshops that they do, free workshops or like events, don't convert the way they normally do. They don't maybe not even attract the right people. There is this there's like a layer on top of it, which makes it difficult for people to not just to say yes, because it's not just about the sale, it's about the connection. People are hesitant, I guess, to make the connection and to really dive into the topic. So there is this, I would say there's a veil around this, but once you allow yourself to view things from a different perspective, once you Oh, I sound far away. I hope you can still hear me. Otherwise, let me just move my microphone. Let me know if it's okay. Otherwise, I will restart. Okay, good. Sounds fine there. Thank you, Melina. Melina. Just correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, because I don't want to butcher your name. So it's about redefining your relationships, redefining how you reach out to your potential clients. Test how it works. Like, you don't have to focus on one thing, because if that thing doesn't work, then everything collapses. So make sure you play around with that. Make sure you allow yourself to experiment a little bit. And of course, Libra doesn't just rule our business relationship, it also rules our personal and romantic relationship. So that's also something beautiful to focus on. That same day, on October 6th, we have Pluto going direct, which is the planet of transformation, and that's why it's easier for you to take your own power back and kind of avoid being in this power struggle, which is important. And one thing that I also want to note is on October 7th, we have Venus going into... sorry, I was just reading in Dutch and I'm like confused. Doesn't matter if you have something in your birth chart almost direct to the minute to the new moon. Oh yes. That will be amplified. So the moon will actually serve as an amplifier. So if you said, so it's not just in the same degree, she's mentioning it has it in the same degree and also the same minutes, or close to the new moon, which actually is very significant. Yes, because it means that whatever that moon is highlighting, or whatever the moon is doing, it's highlighting that planet. Can you tell me what planet it is? Because then I can give you a little bit more specific guidance on that, because it is really beautiful if that happens. But the next day, on October 7th, when Venus moves into Sagittarius, Venus is going to spend an extremely long amount of time in Capricorn this year. I think it's about 4 months, because she goes retrograde in there. And this is not necessarily the best placement for Venus. So when she moves to Sagittarius, it's about flirtatious, adventurous kind of energy. Because remember, Venus rules Libra. So it's directly related to the retrograde that we're in, to the new moon that we're having tomorrow. So it also will increase your impulsiveness. So you would be more impulsive. With finances, make sure that you are aware of that, but follow your heart and go towards the adventure. Because Venus wants to be, she wants to be excited. She wants to feel excited. She wants to have fun. So make sure that you do that. That will be from October 7th till November 4th, because then Venus will move into Capricorn. I'm just gonna come back to to Melina. She said she has a Saturn Pluto conjunction, and on top of that, you have the new moon. So that means you have Saturn and Pluto in Libra. Wow, that's beautiful, because so a conjunction of Pluto and Saturn, when those two are together, they there's this constant game of where Pluto wants to transform, it wants to change, Saturn wants to stay put. So there's this push and pull energy. So most of the time when there's a conjunction, it is a harmonious energy. But in this case, there's this friction where there wants to be transformation. There wants to be this exploring the shadows and like going into the deep end, which is what Pluto wants to do. But then Saturn is like, I am not so sure about that. So every time when you are upping your responsibilities, when you're increasing the responsibilities that you have, Pluto will be like, hey, should we change that? Should we transform it? Should we mold it into something else? So there is this beautiful dance going on. And then when you have a new moon on top of that, that means that it really highlights the way that you take responsibility and the way that you work, because Saturn is also the way that we work. And because it's in Libra, the way that you work and the way that the work works for you is to play around with the balance as well. Because not only are Pluto and Saturn kind of doing this dance, but they are in Libra. So there is this dance already going on between looking after other people. So make sure when you are setting intentions on this new moon, that you're setting intentions to stand up for yourself, to set up boundaries, and not be afraid to say no, maybe a bit more than you're comfortable with. Yeah, does that, is that helpful? Let me know if that is helpful. So let me just move along to, okay, so there are a lot of things going on, and I can't mention it all. Let's just say that this week is really about finding harmony in your own way. Like, what does harmony mean to you? Not to anybody else, not to what anybody else is doing, but make sure that you find the power. And it is quite a powerful week this week, because we also have the Sun conjunct to Mars, which is like action and power and driven, which is, by the way, on the same day that Venus moves into Sagittarius. We also have the Sun conjunct Mercury and Mercury conjunct Mars. So the three of them are coming together this week. It's really going to power things up. So if you feel like things aren't moving along, this is really the week to actually put in the power. Saturn's going direct in Aquarius at the end of the week, which is beautiful because we can actually start moving along, because this summer, I don't know about you, but it felt a little bit like we are going, but we're not really going that much. You're welcome, Melina. Yes, it's fun stuff to explore, right? We're always learning. So next week is a lot about standing up for your ideals. Like, what do you believe in? We have one of the things that are happening next week is the Sun squaring Pluto. And every time when there's a square, that's that harder type of energy. So do you know how to stand up for what you believe in? The Sun in Libra wants to create harmony, wants to create peace, wants everybody to get along. And Pluto in Capricorn is like, oh, hell no. We're just going to do it this way. We're going to power through, and this is what it's going to be. So there is this conflict where don't lose yourself in trying to mediate things. Don't lose yourself in pushing the responsibility on the other person. You, in the end, are responsible for what you're doing, no one else. On that same day, we have Jupiter going direct in Aquarius. So for the last 4 months, there was a lot of exploration in how you develop, how you learn, how you grow. And now it's actually starting to move forward again. So instead of the introspective version, it goes more into, okay, so how can I collaborate with other people? Because it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the most humanitarian sign of all. So it's really beautiful to come to peaceful solutions, because this week is the last sort of calm week, I would say. Also because we have the first quarter moon in in Aquarius. In Capricorn, there is a beautiful trine between the Sun and Jupiter, which also helps to make new connections, to reconnect, and to starting to move along with that. Because the week after that, the week of October 18, that's when things are starting to kind of shake up and mix up. There is a beautiful start of the week. Mercury goes direct. We have Mars in Libra trying Jupiter in Aquarius, which is a very balanced and sweet kind of energy. But then, no, I don't want to scare you. It's just, the intensity is just going up, and I want you to be prepared, because on October 20th we have the full moon at 27 degrees of Aries, and Aries is quick, it's active, it's like it doesn't shy away from saying what it wants, and it tries to get what it wants no matter what. It's this energy of, if you don't like what I have to say, then you go. I stay right here, moving along. And every time there's a full moon, energies are heightened anyway, so make sure that around that day, you have enough, you take the time to release your energy. You take enough time to physically get that frustration, get that anger, get that, get the anger out, because that's Aries, and Aries can get angry really quickly, but if you let the anger come out, it's out, it's done, it's finished. Whereas if we try not to get angry, and we try to keep the peace, because we still have the Sun in Libra, the peacemaker, throw it all out. If you have kids, take them out, especially that day. If it's a bad weather, put on their rain boots, put on their raincoats, and go outside. Because we need to be able to release the energy. We need to be able to get rid of it. And especially because we're moving into Scorpio energy, which is the heavy, the dark, the intense and mysterious kind of energy. If we lock the anger in on this full moon, we're going to have a harder time. If we're able to release the energy, release the anger, especially for women, it can be hard to be angry, or it can be hard to be gentle about the fact that we get angry, because we're supposed to get angry too. It's part of the human emotional spectrum. So if we get angry, we should just get angry. And if you want a safe space to release that, go outside. Find a way so you can release that, because there's nothing wrong with that intense energy. Because that week, actually 3 days after the full moon, we have the Sun moving into Scorpio. And actually before that, one day before that, we have Mars squaring Pluto. Again, hard energy. The Aries energy of the full moon has not really waned yet. And we already have that Mars hitting Pluto. They're both strong-headed, they butt heads. So is that a place where you can try to see things from a serious side, but also from the fun side, from the bubbly side? And if there's a conflict where you see no solution, can't it be both? Sometimes we have to choose, but sometimes in some conflicts, actually it can be both. We don't have to always choose. The Mars Libra wants to kind of get that level playing field, but sometimes you just have to go and don't think about it too much. Then on October 22nd, we have the Sun moving into Scorpio. Scorpio season is there. And I wrote down, take your brooms out of the closet and let your inner witch go. Scorpio is intense in the sense that it wants to dive deep into the unconscious. It wants to explore the shadows but also the taboo subjects, the things that we're not supposed to talk about. And I just did air quotes for people who are just listening. Taboo is only something that society has put on us. What are the topics that you feel really passionate about to talk about? Whether that is from your own life, whether that is something that you see around you, speak up about it. Because if you allow yourself to bring that side of yourself to the table, which is something that for many, many women, or actually for all women, has been suppressed for such a long time. Speak up about the things that you're passionate about. Speak up about something that moves you, that you feel like, I need to share it with the world. Maybe it's not for everybody, but actually that's good, because you just want to repel the people that are not for you, and you want to attract the people that are exactly right for you. And Scorpio really is the flashlight that shines the light on your shadows, and once the light shines there, it's not mysterious anymore. You actually can see it, what is going on, and then you can, as Scorpio does, transform that energy into something more positive, more uplifting. Then the last week of October, the week of October 25th, is on one hand dreamy, and on the other hand a little bit like unexpected. So yes, Anna, well, you were already speaking up, which was beautiful, by the way. I absolutely loved your post about your sister. So thank you so much for showing up and doing that. And hopefully even more so this whole month. So now that Scorpio season has officially kicked off, it's time to make some bold moves. And Scorpio is also very much to the point. So it doesn't dabble around. It just goes straight to the point, which is scary for some people. But it is something that we need to start practicing, and we need to start doing, because this Scorpio energy is such a beautiful, powerful energy that we can all really connect to. So the week starts off with a slightly harder aspect, which is Venus squaring Neptune. And that day it's more difficult to see the difference between facts and reality. That's the same between fact and fiction, between reality and the fantasy world. So it is good to not do any very precise things, very detail-oriented things. Just go along with the Neptunian energy, that is the flowy, the more smooth and gentle energy. Then we have the Sun squaring Saturn. So the Sun is Scorpio squaring Saturn in Aquarius. This is a day where you shouldn't avoid what you have in front of you. It's really not the day to push through, because there is this Scorpio wants to kind of like dig deep and take everything out that is there, whereas Aquarius is like, whew, let's just go let's just see everything as a big picture. So there is this conflict between wanting to dive deep as well as going wide. So that's a day you should be a bit more gentle with yourself and also the people around you. Sorry, my screen just went to a completely different page. And to end that week, or actually October, we have Mars moving into Scorpio. Now, Mars rules two different signs, that is Aries and Scorpio. So Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. Pluto is the modern ruler, Mars is the ancient ruler. So there is this mysterious but also manipulative kind of energy and flavor to all of the actions you have and your ambitions. So be aware of that and then use that to fuel your deepest desires, to chase your deepest desires and create your own way. don't get stuck into, oh, but this is how I've done it before, or this is how other people are doing. This is really a time to pave your own way. The only thing you should be mindful of is to shy away from manipulative behavior, because Mars and Scorpio wants to manipulate to get his way. Because Mars is like, I know what I want. Eyes on the prize. And sometimes very unconsciously, we kind of do these things to manipulate people. So be aware of that when Mars is in Scorpio. So that was it. That is October. And we're only going to amp up next month in November to a more intense, more interesting, transformative energy once we have moved into the Scorpio energy and really are taking the energy and working with it. And I know there are a lot of astrologers who talk doom and gloom about October, November, and December, and I'm not gonna deny that it's gonna be a smooth ride, but I also want to encourage you to take this information and allow yourself to move with the energies. If you feel the anger come up, because Scorpio is also a sign that can get very angry and very frustrated, if you feel that, don't judge it. Feel it come up and say, hey, wait, why? I feel really angry. This is what I can do with it. So over the next few months, allow yourself to give yourself the grace to play with that. Give yourself the ability to not take yourself too serious and to play around with things and to experiment. I actually think I didn't mention that Mercury goes out of retrograde on the 18th, or did I? No, I think I did. So Mercury goes direct on the 18th. 18th. Sometimes it's hard to talk. I blame Mercury. So yeah, it always takes a few days for Mercury to really speed up again and to pick up. So allow yourself to also kind of sink in that Mercury energy. If you have any questions, if you're watching the replay, tag me with the replay, and I'm curious to hear what your insights are and how you're going to use this in your business. Like, how are you going to use the next few weeks to amplify your voice, to speak out to the people that you want to reach out to talk to maybe potential clients or somebody that's been in your orbit and you want to reach out. And don't just stop at one person. Keep going, keep building relationships, because that's, I think, the most important part of doing business is building those relationships and really allowing yourself to play around with that. If you're curious on what the next quarter is really going to look like for you, and you feel like this is what I need to know specifically for me, I already, for instance, explained to Malina how that new moon is going to affect her, because it's right on top of her Saturn-Pluto conjunction. But that's just like one bit. There's so much more in your chart, and if you know what to focus on, you actually know how to move forward and how to continue with your business, so that when the astrological weather or the cosmic weather is going to be a little bit more drastic and mysterious, you know what to focus on, because you know exactly what to do. If you want some more information, drop me a comment below, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about what that looks like for you and what are the possibilities. For now, I'm wishing you a beautiful new moon tomorrow. I hope you are going to set some beautiful intentions around relationship building, redefining relationships, and just using that in your business to expand your business in a beautiful way. And I'll speak to all of you again soon. Bye bye.